as a government remain to taking the right steps in the right direction in order to achieve the desired results.
Nigerians enjoined to keep faith with present administration as it steers the country to a more purposeful direction. President Buhari cancels Christmas homage, urges Nigerians to be optimistic and hopeful of overcoming existing challenges.
That is a big plus to the armed forces of Nigeria.
Defense headquarters reflects on rescue of 39 Islamia girls in Katsina. Hello, compliments of the season, and welcome to the news at 9 on the network service of the NTA. I'm Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Tonight, Michael Olaleye joins us from Lagos. We begin with security matters. Nigerians have once again been enjoined to keep faith with the present administration as it steers the country to a more purposeful direction. President Muhammadu Buhari made the plea while virtually inducting newly acquired and reactivated platforms for the Nigerian Air Force in Kaduna. He said efforts have been intensified towards ensuring that every sector of the nation's economy experiences the change earlier promised. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The newly acquired Mi-171E helicopter brings to 23 the number of brand new aircrafts that have been added to the inventory of the Nigerian Air Force under the Buhari presidency. 15 more platforms, including 12 Super Tucano aircraft from the United States and 3 JF-17 Thunder multi-role fighter aircraft from Pakistan already procured, will soon be delivered. The federal government also supported the Nigerian Air Force to reactivate over 25 unserviceable aircraft, thereby significantly boosting the capacity of the service to deliver robust air power in support of counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency efforts. One of them is the L-39ZA aircraft, also inaugurated by the president.
We as a government remain committed to taking the right steps in the right direction in order to achieve the desired results. The acquisition of these aircraft, among several other military equipment, despite our limited resources, is an expression of that commitment.
Both the newly acquired and the reactivated platforms, President Buhari believes will add impetus to the combat effectiveness and operational efficiency of the Nigerian Air Force in confronting the nation's contemporary challenges of security.
I wish to commend the Chief of Air Staff, as well as his officers, airmen and airwomen, for not only remaining at the forefront of the fight against all enemies of our country, but also for the various laudable initiatives embarked upon to bridge capacity and capability gaps so that they can effectively discharge their duties to our great nation. As you fly these aircraft, I wish you safe flying operations, safe skies, as well as equal takeoffs and landings.
Defense Minister Bashir Magashi and the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for re-equipping and restoring the glory of the Nigerian Air Force towards responding effectively and efficiently to Nigeria's national security imperatives.
With this induction and commissioning, we expect to receive most heartwarming feedbacks from the various theater of operations, and in no distant time, drastic minimization of security menace, redoubling our dear nation to strive.
We further assure you, Your Excellency, that the Nigerian Air Force, working closely with all stakeholders in Nigeria, will never relent in our national commitment to defeat and deter those who aim to undermine our peace, prosperity, unity, and freedom.
Established in 1964, the Nigerian Air Force believes that it is now more willing, able, and ready to discharge its mandate. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And the Defense Headquarters has described the rescue of 39 Islamia girls abducted by bandits as another remarkable achievement by the Nigerian military. The coordinator, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, says this during the weekly media update on military operations across the country. Kenneth Nanim reports.
Troops of Operation Hadarin-Daji in the northwest on 20th of this month rescued 10 kidnapped victims from armed bandits at Yenyewa village in Zamfara State, a consolidation effort on the rescue operation of 344 government science secondary school boys Kankara in Katsina State without any loss of life. A feat the Defense Headquarters is delighted with.
That is a big plus to the armed forces of Nigeria. Not minding whatever any person will say, the most important factor there is life. Life of these kids. So for us, it's a major achievement, which even civilized societies, advanced armed forces and armies have acknowledged.
In a comprehensive ground and air operations, Defense Headquarters also said troops neutralized 5 Boko Haram terrorists in Kenuba area of Borno State. It also pointed out several Boko Haram terrorist gun trucks destroyed in an airstrike executed at Ajuri village in Borno State by the area components of Operation Lafia Dole. While troops of Operation Wild Stroke and other subsidiary forces neutralized gang members of late Ghana's militia group and made arrests at Adangbe village in Katsina Ala local government area of Benue State in the continued intensive kinetic operations. These achievements, Defense Headquarters attributed to professional handling of intelligence, public cooperation, efforts of the vigilante groups, and support by superior authorities. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has enjoined Christians and Nigerians in general to appropriate the hope that comes with Christmas and reinvest trust in government's determination and unwavering commitment to restore peace, security and prosperity to the country. In felicitating with Christians on the occasion of this year's Christmas, the President urged Nigerians to be optimistic and hopeful that the country will overcome existing challenges and rise in stature and status. He said the Christmas season represents joy, peace, hope, love, goodwill and imminent salvation, were the values which Jesus' advent symbolizes, which are very much needed in the country at this time. He reminded Christians of current efforts by the federal government to uplift the lives of the citizenry and promised that government will continue to provide the needed support within available resources to improve security in the country. The President expressed absolute confidence in the spirit of resilience of Nigerians to do the needful and remain vigilant even as this festive season witnesses increased travels and celebrations. Meanwhile, in line with the prevailing protocol put in place by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, restricting, large gatherings, President Muhammadu Buhari will not be hosting the usual Christmas homage by religious and community leaders in the Federal Capital Territory. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says the President urges all citizens to observe social distancing, use face masks, wash hands frequently, and avoid overcrowding of public spaces, markets, shopping centers, offices, and places of worship. The President equally appeals to citizens to discourage all non-essential travels during the holiday season. And messages on Christmas centered on reflecting the spiritual lessons and commitment to a better and peaceful Nigeria. Elizabeth Omori compiled these messages.
Congress has joined Christians and indeed all Nigerians in marking the joyous occasion of Christmas, which celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ, urging all to imbibe the true essence of Christmas, which is giving, The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, wishes Nigerians a peaceful and meaningful Christmas. Bola Tinubu, in his Christmas message, advised all to adhere to the teachings of Jesus Christ to uplift our nation. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, felicitates with Christian faithful as they join the rest of the world in celebrating Christmas. Senator Lawan, in his Christmas message, notes that aside from the security challenges confronting Nigeria, this year's celebration comes at a time when the world is combating the resurgence of the coronavirus pandemic, which has forced many countries to ramp up health safety protocols at a time when people traditionally gather to share love in celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Similarly, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has also called on Christians to use this period of Christmas to pray for continuous peaceful coexistence, noting that this season calls for sober reflection. Still on messages, the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, in his Christmas message, advised drivers to avoid overloading, driving under the influence of alcohol, and overspeeding, which are responsible for most crashes and deaths during Yuletide. And from the Christian community, the prelate of Methodist Church Nigeria, Dr. Samuel Kalu Uche, is appealing to Nigerians to renew their faith in God and believe in one united Nigeria where rule of law prevails. The Methodist prelate also called for religious tolerance irrespective of race and culture. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
In the spirit of Christmas, Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State has doled 140 million naira to offset medical bills of indigent patients in both private and public hospitals across the state. Informer Godwin Wafo reports that other Christmas gifts were also given to them.
Hospital visited by Governor David Umahi to offset medical bills of indigent patients, numbering 170, were Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital and Maifo Hospital, Abakaliki. The governor, who prayed for the quick recovery of the sick, said the gesture was in obedience to God's directive to him to provide succor to them.
This is the re-empowerment, to set the patients free, to set the poor free, to set their place free. That is the re-empowerment. Because this kind of thing, touching people like this, it gives me a lot of joy.
The senior special advisor to the governor on religion and welfare matters, Reverend Father Abraham Weil, lauded Governor Umahi for towing the path of Christ.
Your Excellency, is a journey that is continuing to New Year. You will give us the spiritual assignment that all the sick in the entire state, even in the various private hospitals, must be released.
The number one citizen and the family, they are touching the widows and the sick. But they can go back home, no matter their condition, to share the joy with their family.
So I'm very, very happy for my coming to my foot to come and rescue the helpless.
The state government also extended hands of fellowship to old people's home and motherless babies' home in Abakaliki. Informer Godwin Wafo, NTA News.
Let's just take some messages now. NTA Network News continues shortly.
Better.com, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Nigeria. Dial *777# Glow.
Season's greetings from the Federal Road Safety Commission.
The Federal Road Safety Corps appreciates all road users and all other stakeholders for your cooperation.
This is a season of peace, joy,
and love.
Road crashes are trending down in Nigeria, and together we shall keep it down.
I urge you to travel safe and avoid drinking while you drive.
These are presidential orders. All public buses, taxis and tricycles must travel at 50% capacity, and drivers are to ensure passengers wear face masks.
Be alert, avoid dangerous driving and behavior.
Wishing you a safe and prosperous year ahead.
The call wishes you happy celebration and safe travels.
In case of road crash, call toll-free lines 122 or 0700-225-53772.
Announcer BC Kazim, Assistant Corps Marshal, Corps Public Education Officer, FRSC.
Make this Christmas special with family, friends, and terror. Merry Christmas and season's greetings.
This Christmas season, renew your spirit with Renew Starch. Merry Christmas and season's greetings.
It is time for celebration. 30 years busting with goodness. The challenge can never stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. But still with so much greatness. Enjoy our world of
Holidays are upon us again. The petroleum tanker drivers of New Bank, in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps, joyfully congratulates all Christian faithfuls this Christmas period. It is a season for us to share love with friends and family. As you travel, please remember that the coronavirus is still out there. Wear your face mask in public places. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water for at least 60 seconds. Do not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, and maintain a physical distance of at least 2 meters. The safety of all travelers is our priority. Do not drink and drive. Use your seat belts while driving. Do not drive on worn-out tires. Obey all traffic rules and regulations, and make sure that your vehicle is in roadworthy condition. Consideration for other road users is everyone's responsibility. Remember, your life is precious to your loved ones and the nation. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This message is from the petroleum tanker drivers of New Bank. Comrade Salmon Akoni Oladiti, Chairman, New Bank PTD, announcer.
There is one that has class, and here I pass my neighbor. Don't be a joy killer. There is the right gadget for every moment. Redmi Note 9 Pro. Upgrade your life. Powered by Xiaomi. There are no small beginnings, only stepping stones to bigger things. That's our philosophy at Premium Pension. And so no matter the size of your money, our team of expert fund managers invested wisely and actively to make sure your money is always working as hard as you do. After all, the things we're building today can help shape your future in the long run. And with the right partner by your side, the one thing you're sure to do is soar. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
A big thank you to our esteemed partners and supporters within Nigeria and across the globe who have been consistent in ensuring that we keep the vision of giving hope to the hopeless, voice to the voiceless, and help to the helpless alive. We appreciate your support and encouragement to make a difference in the lives of the less privileged in our society through our NGO, Great Life Changes Foundation International. Despite the ravaging effect of the coronavirus pandemic on global economy, we pray for for you, your family, and business to come out stronger, bigger, and better in Jesus' mighty name. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2021, our year of divine settlement.
I want to seize this opportunity to thank you for all your support, for all your donations, for all your kindness towards the widows and the less privileged, most especially Great Life Changers Foundation International. May God be with you all. We cannot forget you, and I know your reward is with the Lord. By the grace of God, in the name of Jesus. And I pray 2021 will usher in greater things, and we'll be able to do more. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
You're watching NTA Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salih Magashi, has urged Christians to take advantage of the Christmas services and supplications to pray for the country to overcome her security challenges. The Minister's Christmas message, contained in a statement signed by his Special Assistant Media and Publicity, Mohammed Abdul Qadir, celebrates with Christians on the occasion of Christmas. He stressed on the need for peaceful coexistence and unity, especially as the country is fighting insurgency, banditry and kidnapping, among other criminal tendencies. The Special Assistant on Media and Publicity notes that the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Muhammad Buhari, will not allow troops' sacrifices to go unrewarded, urging Nigerians to appreciate the nation's gallant troops who are working tirelessly to secure the country. He commended the leadership of the services and heads of security agencies and their civilian counterparts for the recent feat attained in the timely rescue of the kidnapped students in Kankara, Katsina State. The statement tasked troops in various locations to remain focused to enhance hitch-free Yuletide celebrations and beyond. A foremost Islamic cleric and jurist, Sheikh Ahmed Abdullahi Lemu, has been laid to rest in his home in Mina, the Niger State capital. Kolo Mohammed witnessed the burial rites.
Sympathizers in their hundreds trooped to the Islamic Education Trust IET premises venue of the funeral rites for the late Sheikh Ahmed Abdullahi Lemu. The chief imam of Mina, Malam Ibrahim Isafari, led the funeral prayer. Allahu Akbar. The body of the late jurist and first Grand Cadi in Niger State was laid to rest at Ongwandaji Cemetery.
Certainly, without any doubt, Sheikh Lemu lived an exemplary life.
Most of the people's journey start from the parents. Then it's from the parents that the thing now transmit to the children. And that is the lesson that we should learn in this society.
For over 60 years, more than half a century, Sheikh Ahmed Lemu has been an individual who has committed his life and his legacy towards peace building.
We also have his lessons, his teachings, which will always guide us along the line. So may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Sheikh Ahmed Abdullahi Lemu left behind 6 children and many grandchildren. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
And late Sheikh Ahmed Lemu has been described as one of the very rare Islamic scholars in Nigeria whose interest during his early sojourn was to guide and educate members of the society on how to live peacefully on earth with greater reward in the hereafter. Tributes have been pouring in from Nigerians and other nationals within and outside the country for the renowned Islamic scholar whose contribution to the development of Islam, education and judiciary is written in marble and cannot be erased. Musa Babaliu has more.
Leaders, Christians, Muslims alike.
To Islamic scholars, late Sheikh Ahmed Lemu was not only a light, but also a shining star that guided and led to the righteousness. Just as educationists described the late Sheikh as a teacher who taught and wrote a number of books that contributed largely to the development of both Western and Islamic education in northern Nigeria.
He used to tell us when we were growing that
you don't have barrier between you and the supreme creator. That is, there is no barrier between you and God. You can always ask God directly, and God listens to you.
Born in Lemu, a village in Niger State, the late Sheikh was a revered expert in Arabic language, Islamic studies, Sharia jurisdiction, and education. He was educated at London University School of African and Oriental Studies, where he obtained a certificate in general education in history, Arabic, Hausa, and Persian languages in 1961. Sheikh Lemu also served in the judiciary, first as a Sharia judge at the Sokoto Court of Appeal at Niger, 1976 and 1977, then as Chief Sharia Judge of the Court of Appeals in Niger State, 1977 and 1991. Sheikh Lemu was involved in an effort to tackle insecurity challenges and Islamic extremism, especially in northern Nigeria. He was the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Post-Election Violence set up by former President Goodluck Jonathan to probe the violence that trailed the announcement of the results of the 2011 presidential election.
What I want to be remembered for, I would rather say I will continue to work for it, and that is try to sustain my little righteousness and God-fearing and God-consciousness.
He was conferred with 2 national honors by former President Abdulsalami Abubakar in 1999 and Obasanjo in 2001. In Abuja, Musa Baba Ali, NTA News.
Motorists are applauding the seamless process of driving into petrol stations and topping up their vehicles this Yuletide. Some motorists recall how challenging getting fuel for movement can be during the end of the year festivities, especially for those traveling to see their loved ones. Lydia Sampson reports that motorists are now optimistic that fuel scarcity will remain a thing of the past in Nigeria.
For many, last-minute rush to prepare for Christmas and New Year can be overwhelming. The additional stress of waiting long hours in queues to buy petrol is usually very inconvenient and painful. You'll therefore understand why for many it is accolades galore as they pray the burden lifted for motorists during this administration and this Yuletide season remain permanent.
There is no queue. We drive to any filling station and buy fuel and go. It's very, very convenient. We are happy.
You just drive in and you just buy.
This year there's no problem. There's no queue. I just came in now and you can see the place is empty.
It has been a long time that Nigeria witnessed this kind of a thing. So we should give kudos to the government for doing that anyway.
Some petrol stations had more vehicles trooping into it than others. These, they say, are fuel stations motorists believe have more pump integrity.
We have enough in all our stations. We have almost 12 to 13 stations, and I know all of them are selling right now.
In the past, long queues characterized every petrol station you visit, making it an Herculean task for motorists to travel seamlessly. But today, the story is different. It's almost a drive-in and out process, and motorists here are unanimous that government should be commended for making this one a seamless exercise. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Driving against traffic, which has become the norm on the Abuja-Kaduna highway, has been banned. This, the Kaduna State government says, is to ensure the highway secure the highway from threats of kidnappers and bandits, as well as fatal crashes. Haruna Mohammed reports.
Driving against traffic during road reconstruction is inevitable, but when it has assumed a dangerous trend, the government of Kaduna State insists it has to stop. The State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, says government has observed with concern the dangers posed by the act of driving against traffic and took the decision to penalize defaulters.
Within the last 10 days, so many people have died as a result of motorists and other drivers driving in opposite direction. and it's a very bad situation. It's something we can tolerate.
Now, security operatives as well as other officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps have been mandated to enforce the ban.
We are on the same page with the state government. We are going to take part in the enforcement. We have been doing it, but at least as other security agencies are coming in, it will give it more force.
The Kaduna State government therefore urged motorists to desist from driving against traffic on the Abuja-Kaduna highway and the Kaduna-Zaria axis with immediate effect. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has described the late Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmed Lemu as an outstanding scholar, jurist, teacher and author who was endowed with knowledge of encyclopedia proportion. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant Media to the President, Garba Shehu, says President Buhari indicated that Nigeria and indeed Africa has lost one of its greatest scholars of all times. The President says the late Lemu was, quote, one of the moderating voices of Islam who used wisdom in spreading knowledge, thereby portraying the religion in the brightest light, end of quote. President Buhari also praised what he called Sheikh Lemu's incredible humility and modesty, adding that the pursuit of scholarship and knowledge was his primary preoccupation rather than material things of this world. He condoled with the family of the deceased and prayed the Almighty to comfort them at this trying time. Lack of fire service station in the historical town of Jeba is the contributory factor to extensive damage during recurring petrol tanker accidents in the area. It took the government fire servicemen from Ilorin at least 2 hours to get to the scene of the accident that claimed 6 lives. Kende Omolosho has the details.
It is a sad day that the people of Jeba will not easily forget due to the magnitude of the havoc the incident wreaked on the community. This petrol tanker traveling through the ancient town lost control after a brake failure at Garika and spilled its content. The ensuing fire spread and destroyed at least 30 houses and other property. 4 cars, 12 motorcycles and private businesses, including a rice mill, were lost to the inferno.
There are some that they lost everything in their house usage, of which they can't. The houses are burnt to ashes.
Nothing for me to do now. I'm cobbleless now. I have nothing. I'm empty.
There is no government fire service station in Jeba, a densely populated community famous for hosting many itinerant tanker drivers, their articulated vehicle and highly inflammable loads. Although some fire operatives from private companies responded, it was late before the fire could get professional attention as the state and federal fire responders took off from Ilorin. The vehicle of the Federal Fire Service broke down at Sobi at the outskirts of Ilorin.
The only fire service in Jeba here is that of paper mill, which usually help. Even not only here, accident along the road from here to Sadu, we are the one going there every time.
The Oba of Jeba, Abdul Kadri Adebara, wants a fire station situated in Jeba for emergency response because such disaster is becoming too many. From Jeba in Moro local government area of Kwara State, Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
2020, a promising year, took a dramatic, infamous turn. No thanks to the coronavirus pandemic. With it came gains and losses for the environment, a sector in Nigeria that has shown resilience and survived against the odds of the virus. Onenge Finefest reviews how the environment fared in 2020 amid a pandemic and the destructive whims of a natural disaster.
2020 is the year when everything changed, a year when the world as we know it was altered in ways beyond imagination. COVID-19 plagued the world and dictated the theme of global policy formulation, resulting in the shutting down of economies, restriction in movements, and, ironically, giving the earth the chance to breathe again and recover its health from man-made pollutants. It is a problem linked to the environment and its biodiversity. The Ministry of Environment partnered other ministries to disinfect public and private spaces like roads, markets, schools, and offices.
We coordinate in collaboration with the ministry in the decontamination of more than 256 ministries and MDAs that belongs to the federal government.
60,000 environmental health volunteers were activated across the country for surveillance and monitoring of compliance with COVID-19 safety protocols, especially for the safe reopening of schools. Although COVID-19 imposed losses on national policy, budget and governance, the environment sector in Nigeria recorded gains, especially in efforts at mitigating biodiversity losses with commencement of the planting of 25 million trees.
As a nation, Nigeria remains committed to maintaining a healthy environment and safeguarding our ecosystems.
The federal government gave approvals to critical areas in this regard, the latest of which is the establishment of additional 10 national parks to increase the nation's forest cover.
The national parks are Nigeria's eco-treasure and have the potentials of contributing substantially to the national economy when fully developed.
Other approvals include National Forest Policy, Mangrove Restoration Project in the Niger Delta, Gender Action Plan on Climate Change, and a new policy on solid waste management. President Muhammadu Buhari, in the year under review, addressed the first United Nations Biodiversity Summit, just as Nigeria joined the global community to commemorate the first International Day for Clean Air. The Ministry of Environment championed the formulation of a post-2020 biodiversity framework of the ECOWAS region. Despite the lockdown that slowed the pace of work on the Ogoni cleanup exercise, progress was made on the project, with the federal government receiving 7 completed hydrocarbon pollution remediation project sites in Rivers State. The review of major activities in the year 2020 will not be complete without a mention of the heavy rainfall and excess water from the River Niger that unleashed devastating flood on several cities and hundreds of communities and states across the country. The flood destroyed lives and livelihoods, displaced millions, and negatively impacted the environment, forcing intervention from governments at all levels. Hard as Nigeria and the global community fought, COVID-19 remained blight on the survival of the world, but with it also came a sense of resilience from citizens. Most of all, the pandemic raised a greater sense of duty and responsibility in the way humanity interacts with Mother Earth and the environment as a whole. In Abuja, Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Let's now join Michael in Lagos for some reports. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Joseph. COVID-19 pandemic should not be treated with kid gloves, as the virus is real and kills. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at a media briefing on the second wave of the virus said the state government will not tolerate violations to safety measures during and after U-Tide. Abolade Salami reports.
With a rise in COVID-19 cases across the country, the federal and state governments are not leaving anything to chance with regards to public adherence to safety protocols. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who only recently tested negative to the virus after 14 days in isolation, said Lagosians should avoid all forms of gatherings in private and public places. He also advised them to minimize non-essential travel.
Lagosians, let this Christmas be a period for sober reflection, please. The quicker we're able to tame this raging virus through responsible behavior, the higher the likelihood that we will enjoy even a better 2021 that will not be as restrictive as we have seen in this 2020 that is coming to an end. It is up for us, and the choices really is ours. If we continue to remain irresponsible and have behaviors, we might need to pay the price, and we don't want that.
To flatten the curve in the states, all establishments, he emphasized, must implement the no mask, no entry policy and mandate hand washing in all public places.
Once you have, your results and you want to do home care, isolation, the treatments are there, and the doctors, the frontline health workers are all being well trained. They know what to do.
As the epicenter of the virus, Governor Sanwo-Olu urged Lagosians to take advantage of the testing centers across the states that are operating for free in order to know their status. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
In the midst of COVID-19 in Nigeria, large gatherings are discouraged following the federal government's directive for all SIM subscribers to update their data with their national identity number. Our Yusuf Jibo examines how safety will not be compromised.
This is the Lagos State headquarters of the National Identity Management Commission, where registration exercise is currently ongoing. I am here to find out compliance with COVID-19 protocols. Come along.
Following the 6-week extension granted subscribers to obtain their national identity number, which begins from 30th of December 2020 to the 9th of February 2021, the National Identity Management Commission has put in place measures to ensure that those who attend the registration are in full compliance with COVID-19 safety protocols. To ensure that the COVID-19 restrictions are not breached, the Regional Coordinator NIMC Lagos, Fumi Okwesanwu, gives an insight into plans.
Make sure that everybody comes in wearing a nose mask. So it's a first come, first served basis. So as I speak now, we have over 10,000 centers that will be up and running in the next few days. Bisi Ojo, a 73-year-old clergywoman, is one of the senior citizens who enjoyed the special room created for the elderly, as well as expectant and nursing mothers.
No problem, no stress at all. I got here around 10 o'clock and I was called within 2 hours.
Although the Commission has placed measures on ground to prevent the spread of the virus during registration, people are advised to take responsibility for their personal safety. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jubo, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Joseph shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
In this earth, we grow champions. In this earth, greatness takes root. Here, talent flourishes and passion ignites. Here, dreams, they come alive. We know football and life, they are the same. You get the ball, you run with the ball. People try to take the ball from you, don't let them. Keep your eyes on the ball, don't lose sight of the goal. And when it's time, take the shot. Life is football, you must take your shot.
Great supporters of football. Glow Unlimited.
The holidays are upon us again. The Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps, merrily felicitates with all Christians this Christmas. It is a season to show love to all. As you travel, please remember that the coronavirus still exists. Wear your face mask in public places. Wash your hands regularly with soap for at least 60 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, and maintain physical distance of at least 2 meters. As we celebrate this joyous season, do not drink and drive. Use your seatbelts while driving. Do not drive on worn-out tires. Obey all traffic rules and regulations, and make sure your vehicle is in roadworthy condition. Consideration for all road users is everyone's responsibility. Remember, your life is precious to your loved ones and the nation. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. This message is from the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners. Yusuf Lawal Othman, NATO President, Announcer.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool!
Wow!
And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this.
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
Expressions without words won't have it any other way. Moments will feel joy. Been lost in the moment, the freedom. You will find that's what's celebrating. Bring your moments alive. Find your satisfaction in the nourishing trend and sparkling. Celebrate a little way, making big differences. In the nourishing trend and sparkling.
Enjoy
in red grape, white grape, peach variants. Then let us sparkling fruit drink. Celebrate every moment.
Make this Christmas special with family, friends, and Terra. Merry Christmas and season's greetings.
This Christmas season, renew your spirit with Renew Starch. Merry Christmas and season's greetings.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool.
Wow.
And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this.
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
After a 7-goal demolition at the hands of the champions last time out, will Crystal Palace enjoy a Merry Christmas when they visit Villa Park? This Saturday, it's Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace on the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Baba Ijebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Goal.com.
Thanks for staying with us. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has distributed assorted food and other domestic items to the internally displaced persons in Katsina. Performing the distribution exercise, a federal commissioner with the Refugees Commission, Senator Bashir Garba Mohammed, said the gesture was part of the federal government palliative to alleviate the sufferings being faced by the beneficiaries. Shehu Adamu reports.
Assorted food items distributed include bags of rice, beans, millet, maize, seasonings and cooking oil. The beneficiaries also received sewing machine, buckets, grinding machines, blankets, energy stoves, wheelbarrows and mattresses.
For now, I don't know the whereabouts of my husband due to bandit attack. He left me with 9 children. I am therefore grateful.
I lost my relations to banditry and more than 60 of my cows were rustled. I thank President Muhammadu Buhari for the gesture.
Federal Commissioner at the National Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Senator Bashir Garba Mohammed said, for now, the Commission is targeting 20,000 direct and indirect beneficiaries in the state.
I'm hopeful that these food items you will be receiving today will go a long way in reducing the hardship currently faced by all displaced persons in Katsina State.
Executive Secretary of Katsina State Emergency Management Agency, Babangida Nasamu, commended the federal government for according priority to the welfare of the internally displaced persons in Katsina. At present, the Commission is undertaking the construction of 600 housing units for the IDPs, which is an addition to Project Reliance program, under which displaced persons will benefit from funds and skills training. In Katsina, Shehu Adamu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, under the leadership of its President General and Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar, announces the appointment of Alhaji Razaki Oladejo as the new Deputy President General South for the Council. Alhaji Oladejo steps in to fill the vacancy created in the leadership of the council by the death of Alhaji S.O. Babalola, who was until October 2, 2019, the Deputy President General South of the council, recently elected as the President of the Muslim Ummah of Southwest of Nigeria. Alhaji Oladejo is a committed religious leader, a thoroughbred professional, a development economist, a Muslim philanthropist, a life member of the Nigerian Economic Society and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. The Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs is the apex organization for the management of Islamic affairs in Nigeria. The United Kingdom and European Union have finally reached trade agreement as England exits from the regional group. The deal came after 5 years of negotiations and uncertainty between the UK and the European Union. The trade deal signed this Thursday is worth more than £600 billion.
We will continue cooperating with the UK in all areas of mutual interest. For example, in the field of climate change, energy, security, and transport. Together, we still achieve more than we do apart.
The British Prime Minister, in a statement, said the deal allows the government to take control of currency, borders, laws, trade and fishing waters. Under the deal, the UK and other European member countries will enjoy zero tariffs and zero quotas, which has been a bone of contention since the Brexit was announced in 2016. Other key points of the deal include border checks between UK and the EU, a shared commitment to protect social and labour rights, and the UK's participation in a number of EU programmes until 2027. An FCT mobile court sitting at the Eagle Square, Abuja, has prosecuted 20 persons for violating the COVID-19 safety protocols. Shoaibu Onoze Yakubu reports that some recreational centres were also shut down.
Renewed commitment to ensure residents comply with the COVID-19 safety protocols. The FCT Ministerial Task Team on COVID-19 enforcement stormed some recreational centers within the nation's capital city. Not deterred by the resistance, the team arrested 9 persons and shut down some recreational centers for contravening the directive. The enforcement team also visited UTC, Gariki Market, as well as other shopping malls and made some arrests. Magistrate Raphael Egbe of the FCT Mobile Court, sitting at the Eagle Square, prosecuted 20 violators for not wearing face masks.
We carried out another night operation, and during the night operation, we just discovered that we had a very rough time. One of our police officers was attacked, and we've so far prosecuted about 20 persons today. And we're just begging people in the FCT to please comply.
It's a good step in a good direction, and I want you to continue. Don't just do it today and stop. Truly, because a lot of people are not willing to wear this.
However, they were given an option of fine. Shoaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Let's bring you sports now. Shagamu honors Anthony Joshua. Kenema Abudike brings us more on sports update.
The Nigeria Basketball Federation says plans are underway to consolidate upon its gains in 2021, despite challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic to global sports.
For NBBF, it's been a very, I would say, very, very good year, because the only event we went to, we actually were able to test case preparations for the Olympics and also take the very good first step to get into AfroBasket 2021.
Football fans have urged players and officials of Rivers United to sustain the tempo following their 2-0 defeat of Bloemfontein Celtic in the first qualifying round, first leg tie of the CAF Confederation Cup on Wednesday in South Africa.
It's not going to get any better for Rivers United until our league starts and there's a competitive football between every club in Nigeria that is in the MPFL. Then we will still see problems, or we will still have to face problems in the Continental.
Meanwhile, fans have decried Enyimba's 3-0 defeat by Al Merrikh in the first round of CAF Champions League on Wednesday in Sudan, calling on the Abuja State government and other stakeholders to rally round the two-time African champions as they bid to bounce back in the reverse fixture come January 2021. In boxing, the chairman, Transition Committee, Shagamu area of Ogun State, Wenga Banjo has renamed the popular cinema road Shagamu as Anthony Joshua Way to honor the world boxing champion for retaining the IBF, WBA and WBO titles against Kubrat Pulev. Banjo, who said the honor down to Anthony Joshua would serve as an encouragement to the boxer, urged the youth to emulate him while also calling on stakeholders to contribute their quota towards the development of sports in the local government area. With sports update, Kenem Ima Abodike, NTA News.
Congrats to the gallant boxer. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled the family of late publisher of leadership newspaper Sam Nda Isaiah, describing him as a true friend and an ally of many years whose commitment to credible leadership and nation building was unshaken. The president was speaking in a condolence letter delivered by a presidential delegation led by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
The presidential delegation comprises senior special assistants to the president on domestic and social affairs, Sarki Abba, and State House Chief Protocol Ambassador Lawal Kazauri, to commiserate with the deceased family on behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari. Senior special assistants to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, delivered the president's condolence letter to late Sam Nda Isaiah's younger brother, Abraham Nda Isaiah, describing the deceased as a true friend and a dependable ally whose influence and dedication to progressive Nigeria shall remain appreciated.
From the very day the demise of late Sam was announced, the president did say that he had lost a friend and an ally, and he described it as a loss, personal loss to him. He expressed shock and sadness over the death and said it's a loss also to the family and to the nation.
The family says they are highly pleased with the outpour of love and care from President Muhammadu Buhari since the demise of late Isaiah, and expressed satisfaction with the warm words, prayers and exceptional honor to the deceased, which has lifted the family at its grieving moment.
Sam, as we know, has always been with the president for over since 2003 or so, even before then. So, like the president described him, he's a friend and an ally. So, to the presidency, we say thank you.
The delegation also commiserated with the widow to the late Sam Nda Isaiah and urged her to remain strong and committed in preserving the good virtues of the deceased and continue to uplift his unblemished character. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Just before we go, a quick check on the weather forecast.
Glad you could join us. Fresh dust has been raised from the source region and it is expected to affect parts of Adamawa, Gombe, Borno, Yobe, and Yola in thick dusties come Friday morning. It is advisable for motorists and flight operators to take necessary precautions as visibility is expected to deteriorate over those regions, with the remaining part of the northern cities in dust-hit conditions with visibility ranging between 2 to 5 kilometers and few places could have below 1,000 meters. Sunny and easy conditions are anticipated over the central down to the south with patches of clouds at interval. And as we progress into the day, isolated thunderstorms are expected over parts of Delta and the coastal belts. From the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, we wish you a Merry Christmas.